what can we do when people come with all these mental health problems and all? Of course, many people, most people will require some psychotherapy, personalized counseling sessions, and medicines. When people think about psychiatric medicines, many people have much misunderstanding. They think that once you start taking psychiatric medicines, then you will have to be lifelong on that. That's a blatant lie. It is never like that. Most people actually, just will become better with the medicines, and what we can do is that once they become stable, with all the symptoms are all clear, we can slowly taper down the medicines, and we can taper off and stop medicines in most cases. Very few cases only, sometimes actually because of the nature of the illness and recurring nature of the illness, sometimes actually medicines may have to be taken for years, but most people actually it will be just for a few months or just little more than that only they may need to take the medicine. So depending on each person, so don't think, and many people think that psychiatric medicines have much side effects, and it will be, you feel drowsy all the time. No, you can always adjust the dose, and if at all there is some side effect, you can change the medicines. There are many newer medicines with very minimum kind of side effects, and nothing to really worry about the medicines part and all. And actually, good medicines and good counseling, everything will really help people to come out of this crisis very well. Then generally speaking, what all can we do to the general public? What all can we tell them to improve their mental health? So I'll tell them a few points which will help all of us, even if we are not having any major mental health problem. We all are facing stress. So one way to face stress is to ventilate. Ventilate means just like a room has got ventilation. No, there will be some holes where there will be ventilation of air, cross ventilation, and all we say. So like that, our mind also needs some ventilation. So whom all we can ventilate to? Of course, if you are a person who believes in God and all, you can ventilate everything. You can cast all your burdens unto the God who cares for you. So that Creator, you ventilate to God. You pour out your heart to God, and of course, even to human beings, those whom you can really trust. Your own most trusted, probably your spouse or your father or mother or your children or your sister or brother or your best friend, and even to your counselor or psychiatrist or psychologist, to whom you can confidentially say everything and whom you can ventilate out, or even you can even write down something in a diary or make it as a poem. Ventilate your feelings, so that itself will give much relief. It is just like draining an abscess. If there is a pus-filled abscess somewhere in the body, just applying some ointment on the top will not help. You have to put an incision and drain out that pus. Like that, we need to, all those negative emotions we need to give vent to, and that itself will help us to really feel relieved. Then healthy love relationships, of course, will help us to tide over any crisis. Of course, love relationship with God who created us, if you are a spiritually minded person, and of course love relationship with your own family members. Build closer, stronger bond with your own family members. Because of the lockdown anyway, all are confined to home, so there are better chances where we can spend much more quality time. Before COVID times and all, we were all so busy that we didn't have any time for the family and children. Now we can have much more time for our parents and family and children, and most people, except probably the health workers, most people have more time. Health workers and the people in the police and prison field and all, most people have much more time nowadays. So build up healthy relationships. In healthy love relationships, even biochemically speaking, medically speaking, oxytocin will be released in our body in a much more manner. It says scientifically, oxytocin is called cuddle hormone or love hormone. So that itself will help us to say it is one of the happy hormones. It will help us to feel more pleasant and happy. So spending quality time with your loved ones will help you to feel better. Then another thing that you can do is to engage yourself in something or the other all the time. Idle mind is a devil's workshop. If you are idly sitting with nothing to do, all these negative thoughts will crowd onto your mind, and you feel, you will feel all the more tired and burdened. So what you can do is that engage yourself in some profitable activities. Of course, 24 hours, 8 to 9 hours you have to sleep. 8 hours, not less than 7 hours anyway you have to sleep. 8 hours of continuous sleep is very good. 1/3 of the day is very good for the body's physical and mental health. In the sleep also there will be regulations of cytokines which will help to boost our immune system. Of course, to fight COVID we need much immunity, more than no particular antidote has been discovered so far. So to boost up our immunity itself, sleep has got a major role. So 8 hours of good sleep, in case you face some sleep problems and all. Of course, there are good medicines, good sedative antidepressants which are not addictive, which you can take to get good sleep and help you to feel better. Good to consult a good psychiatrist for that. Even nowadays online consultations all are there, allowed also. So sleep, so I was telling about being engaged 24 hours, 7 to 9 hours we can say good sleep. Then the rest of the time, whatever, if you are a student, your studies, if you are a person who is working, your work related things. So that chunk of the time would be there, would be spent for the work or studies. Then the rest of the time, how to engage yourself? Engage yourself in some good hobbies. Hobbies are things which you enjoy doing, whatever you enjoy doing. Sometimes it will be just listening to some good soothing music, relaxing music, or watching some good programs, reading some good books, gardening, cultivation, some embroidery, for ladies especially, learning to cook some new dishes, arranging the home, decorating the home, so like that, so many things actually. Of course, in the lockdown period we don't have option of going for outing and picnic and all, but all the other things that we can do enjoyably, that family get together, even virtually, even online, even like this Google Meet and all those things will help us to even virtual family gatherings, and so like that, hobbies. And if you are a spiritually minded person, prayer and meditation of the scriptures and all will help. And then exercise. Exercise is very important for mental and physical health. When you are doing exercise, when you are doing exercise in the sun, exposing yourself to mild sun exposure, not the severe hot sun exposure, but some 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. that kind of even before that, sunlight itself will help us to produce some vitamin D in our body. Vitamin D is deficiency of vitamin D is related to decreased immunity and depressive symptoms and many anxiety symptoms and many vague symptoms. Vitamin D, the role of vitamin D, the scientific world is discovering more and more. So exposing ourselves to mild sun exposure and doing exercise in that mild sun exposure has two benefits. One is the sunlight benefit. Other thing is that when we are doing exercise, there will be a release of endorphins in our body, in our brain. Endorphins are happy chemicals. They are natural painkillers. So doing exercise for half an hour or 45 minutes or even more if you can afford to, even in the morning and evening and all, will help us to feel better. We all know when we play some shuttle or do some exercise or do some work, after that you feel better in your mind, you feel very fresh. So that is the release of endorphins. So exercise, then actually helping others, charity in whatever way we can, not necessarily monetarily. Of course, if we can help others materially, monetarily, financially, of course that is good. But at the same time, we can help others by appreciating, by not only good deeds but also good words. So say thank you and appreciate and good, well done. When we are appreciating our juniors, we are thanking our seniors. When we are appreciating our own family members, even when your wife comes with the tea, say that it's good. Even if it is not that good, also say appreciate, saying some good words, that helping and making one, we all know that proverb, one way to be happy is to make others happy. So when we are making others happy, there will be serotonin release, more of serotonin release in our system is what science also says. and setting some short targets. Have a rough timetable where you are within this day, within this week, within this month, I want to finish this task and targets. So when you're achieving that short target, there will be more of dopamine release in our body. So this dopamine and serotonin and endorphins and all these are happy hormones, are the pleasure hormones that will, with natural all these exercise and short targets and helping others and sleep and everything will help us to have more of this good hormones well in our body. And one more thing is the forgiving others. Cortisol is a stress hormone. When we are forgiving others, studies have shown that cortisol level in our body will decrease. When we are having bitterness and grudge against people, I cannot get along with that person, I won't speak to this person, so there will be more of cortisol and stress hormones in our body, and that will result in your immunity deteriorating. So forgive others. Anyway, we are on this earth for a short while. We don't know how many years we are living on this earth, maximum some 80-90 years. And after that, short time on this earth, whatever people have done harm to us, just forgive them, because they do not know what they are doing. Just forgive them, take it easy, be cool. And when you are forgiving others, you will feel more relieved in your own system. There will be less of stress hormones in our body. And so these are some general tips I was telling. And know that even if you feel that nobody is there to care for you, love you, of course, have faith in God, and that itself will help you to feel better. Spiritual activities and all like that. And one more thing I will say and close. A man of God I've heard saying, every circumstance in our life is to make us, it will make us either better or bitter. So even whatever trials God has allowed in this life, it is to make us better, not bitter. We have the choice to be bitter and embittered and be more stressed out and always complaining and murmuring attitude we can have, but at the same time we can say that this is to make me a better person. This is a challenge. With God's help, I will tide over this crisis, and we can be a better person. We can just shake off all the negative things and cast all those burdens to the God who created us. And together, we are not alone in this fight against Corona. Together, with all our family members and friends and society, together we are fighting this war, and we all will win. God will help us to win. And I hope and pray that those who are all listening to me will have a better mental health, and you will be able to apply all these principles. Anyway, thanks for this time.